Chris, has had as comprehensive a night as you could have hoped for, I suppose. An excellent win against Pompey.
Yes, I think a lot of people would have been having a little peek at us and see how we approached the game after Sunday, and in fact it went on Sunday afternoon. I thought the players were really good tonight. A lot of boxes ticked. Another step forward, another test passed. You know, sometimes not always easy to play against 10 men. But I told the players, don't get bored of being a good player and doing the right things, and don't get bored of being a decent team. And I thought we looked a decent team tonight. Of course, yeah, the direction of the game did change with the penalty and the sending off, but you still have to go and earn the right, and we did that.
Was it always preordained that Pep would take the penalty? Because for a time I just wondered.
Well, no, yeah, he was down to take it. So we have an order for penalty takers. City was really confident. He was confident last season. He was down to take one if we had managed to equalise late on and that fateful day at Wembley Stadium. So he was always down and fancied himself, and delighted that City's got off the mark, because he's been pretty close. For me, he had a really poor decision in terms of when he had a goal disallowed against Southampton. He's been pretty close, and you could hear the support and how much they were willing, City, to stick it in the back of the net, and it was a confident penalty from a confident boy. I've talked about it in midweek. Been a tough gig for that boy. Being isolated and abandoned in the middle of the park for the first 6 or 7 games, but I think you've just seen what he's about, how he has been, and as well, we talked about the disappointment of his obvious mistake against Derby County, but he's come flying back. I thought the combination of them two was decent in there. I don't think they offered much threat for us, but we just had to concentrate. They've got Murphy off the left or off the right, who's a real danger player in the division, possibly one of the best wingers, and the centre forward's an handful. But I've got to say, even though we weren't at our free-flowing best, we possibly, only little criticism, we just, sometimes when we have nights like this, and not being disrespectful or being critical of anything, maybe not as a big of a away support as you usually have, on a Tuesday night or Wednesday night. You have to create your own momentum. I just felt we could have played a little bit quicker, got the ball in play a little bit quicker as well to get us going. But we found our rhythm, got our penalty, and then we made some really good decisions second half and looked a threat. And
well, Patrick Bamford, I'm sure, would have been keen to get his first goal, and Gus Harmer, as he comes back from his injury problems, does what he does. So it's psychologically hugely important for a lot of players tonight.
Yeah, the makeup of the team, as you've seen, academy players playing, boys that we picked up on free transfers, boys that we signed for a couple of quid. Jaffa, we signed in the summer, I think was outstanding today as well. Great leader by example. And we talked about it at the top of the pitch. We've got threats. Thought the ovation and the applause that Tom Cannon received was outstanding from our supporters, and I mentioned it to him as he was coming off. Just have a little look around. Everybody appreciates when you play like that and you're positive and you're on the front foot. And so yeah, Gus's goal, we've obviously missed him. Getting other players back to form. Pat's introduction, talked about it on Sunday, as a number 9. Got good combinations that we can go into, and we didn't even have to bring Tyrese into the game, which was a bonus. He had a little bit of a tight calf coming off the game on Sunday, and he'll be okay to be in contention to start on Saturday afternoon.
How do you feel Cannon and partnerships are starting to build up there now between different sets of players? Obviously Bamford and Cannon tonight.
Yeah, I thought it was the right one. As I said, it could quite easily to risk Chris Tyrese and go again with the same two, but that would have been the easy decision. But I'm not here to make easy decisions. I'm trying to make right decisions, and the partnership there today I thought was pretty good. Pat comes in and links it. He's a physical threat, and Tom's a runner off the back line. And I thought they were, even first half, we were just the last bit off getting either Pat in or getting Tom in as well. So that'll develop, but we've got good footballers up there. Danny coming onto the pitch as well, and and Cal playing as a 10, Gus off the left, and Brooksy I thought was good. Another game for Femi and Brooksy to establish that sort of partnership. Chong will be back for the weekend as well, so we're getting players back in. Blaster not far away, as we've talked about. So yeah, we can sleep well tonight. It's been a good first part of the week, and recover and rest and go again tomorrow for the weekend.